welcome back to my channel, and for those that are new, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to talk about a book haul. All of the books that I checked out from the library, purchased, and also from Kindle Unlimited, some new ones that I found on there. So let's first dive into the one book that I checked out from the library that was recommended to me is No Exit by Taylor Adams. I was seeing if this is a good thriller and a good amount of twist to it, and also time appropriate with the weather this winter season. And so I'm excited to check this one out, about a woman on her way through Utah to see her dying mother. Darby gets caught in a fierce blizzard in Colorado Rockies. With the roads impassable, she must waste out the storm in a highway rest stop with no cell phone reception, and she is trying to get contact and can't find anybody. And then she sees a little girl locked in the back of a parked van, and things ensue from there. So I've heard really good things. I'm excited to give this one a try. And then moving on to the two books that I picked up from Barnes & Noble, brand new. The first one is Ella Marie Wiseman, continuing to read her The Lies They Told, her most recent release. I think this is going to be an excellent read. I've loved the two books that I've already read by her, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook and What She Left Behind. And so I'm excited to check out this author's most recent release. And so it says, when Lena, a young unwed mother, sees immigrant families being forcibly separated on Ellis Island, she vows not to let the officers take her 2-year-old daughter. But the inspection process is more rigorous than she imagined, and she's separated from her mother and teenage brother. Her labeled burdens to society, denied entry, and deported back to Germany. Now alone but determined to give her daughter a better life, after years of living in poverty and near starvation, she finds herself facing a future unlike anything she had envisioned. Oh, interesting. And then Silas, a widowed family relative, recently brings Lena and her daughter to his weathered cottage in Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains to care for his home and children. That the hills around will follow remind Lena of her homeland she struggles to address. Worse, she is stunned to learn the children in her care have been taught to hide when the sheriff comes around. When Lena meets their neighbors, she realizes the community is vibrant and tight-knit, but also senses growing unease. The state of Virginia is scheming to paint them as ignorant, immoral, and backwards so they can evict them from their land, seize the children from parents, and deal with those possessing inferior genes. Oh, okay. So it's going to be heartbreaking. It could be really good. So we'll see what that one entails for sure. And then the second book that I got is A Correspondent by Virginia Evans. This is the book club book that I'm reading with my Patreon with Books and Jams, Krista. I'm excited to get into this one. Again, it's Sybil writes letters to make sense of the world, and then what happens when she sends them or doesn't send them, and what it means and her connections that she makes along the way. So sounds really good, sounds pretty moving, so I'm excited to get into this one as well. And then I ended up buying 4 books off of Pango, 3 different sellers, but I was looking for some more nonfiction books. So I am currently reading The Dressmakers of Auschwitz by Lucy Adlington. And so I am reading this one currently, and you can see about a fourth of the way through it, maybe a third now. But it was available on Kindle Unlimited, and I thought I would like reading it on my Kindle. But I do 10 pages a day, and so it was kind of difficult to know if I've read 10 pages or not, depending on the size of the pages and the books and text and everything on the Kindle. I wasn't as consistent with reading my nonfiction every day because I was finding that is a little bit more difficult. I have learned that it's good for me to have these nonfiction books in print physically, so that is what I've done. I found these 4 books from Pango from 3 different sellers, paying shipping for each of them, and that was less than one of these books new on Barnes & Noble's website. So I'm very excited to get 4 books for basically the price of one, which is crazy. So like I said, reading Dressmakers at Auschwitz, and it's about, at the height of the Holocaust, 25 young inmates of infamous Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp, mainly Jewish women and girls, were selected to design, cut, and sew beautiful fashions and a dedicated salon for elite Nazi women. It was work that they hoped they would spare them from the gas chambers. This fashion workshop, called the Upper Tailoring Studio, was established by Hedwig Haas, the camp's commandant's wife, and patronage by the wives of SS guards and officers. So it talks about the women leading up to them getting to Auschwitz, and then also how they survive dressing, and outfitting all of the women in the Nazi regime. So very interesting, very heartbreaking, but enjoying this nonfiction as well. And so then I have two more nonfiction here that I'm interested in reading. One is by Jon Acuff, Soundtracks. I have not read anything by Jon Acuff before, but I'm excited to do it. Surprising Solutions for Overthinking. It says, overthinking isn't a personality trait. It's a sneakiest form of fear. It steals time, creativity, and goals. It's the most expensive, least productive thing companies invest in without even knowing it, and it's an epidemic. In Soundtracks, Jon Acuff offers a proven plan to change overthinking from super problem into a superpower. If you want to tap into this rising power of overthinking and give your dreams more time and creativity, learn how to DJ soundtracks to define you. If you can worry, you can wonder. If you can doubt, you can dominate. If you can spin, you can soar. So I'm excited to see what I think of this one. I am intrigued to learn about what he has to say and see if I like his writing style. So I think he has a few other books as well. And then the next nonfiction that I got is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And so, yeah, if you're afraid of making decisions, asking your boss for a raise, leaving a relationship, facing the future, the world is a scary place right now. Day-to-day stress and worry are all-time high. But hard truth is that the fear just won't go away on its own. The only way to need fear is to approach it. And this book is essential guide to connecting with your inner power in order to do that. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what this author has to offer. It has been around for many, many years. And so I'm excited to see what this one is like and if I enjoy it. And so the last book that I got physically from Pango is a Kristen Lauren, The Soulmate Equation. I have not read any of these. I think it's like a part of a series. And so I'm excited to see how I like this one. I know it's one of probably more original works, one of the first ones that they've written, I believe. And so we'll see when this one come out. See if I can find it. 2021. So I guess it's one of the more newer ones, but okay, so we'll see. I'm excited to see if you've read this one or any of the books in this series. Let me know. I'm excited to continue reading Christina Lauren this year. And so, yeah, it's kind of one of the few romance authors that I have found that I enjoy. So those are all of the books that I have purchased or checked out from the library physically. And so now let's take a look at some of the books that I've gotten from Kindle Unlimited as some options to read and stuffing my Kindle. All right, let's take a look. All right, let's look at the books that I got from Kindle Unlimited and stuffing my Kindle. Let's go ahead and wake it up and turn it on. And so you can see I'm currently reading Dungeon Crawler Carl book 6. So let's go back home and let's go to my library. And then from here, we can see a few new ones. The Book of Doors, it looks like a good run one. And then Snake Eater is one that I got from Kindle, not Kindle, but Amazon Reads First. And then let's go on to the next page. Nothing new with those ones. Let's go ahead and undo that. So we have a couple new ones from Ellen Marie Wiseman. There's several of hers that are on here from Kindle Unlimited, which is excited. The Orphan collection is one I'm really excited to read. The Plum Tree is Ellen Marie Wiseman's first book, which would be kind of cool to see how maybe her writing and style has changed over time, but I'm excited to read all of her backlist. And I have added Falling by T.J. Newman. It's funny because I started with reading Drowning, and then I went to Worst Case Scenario, and so I still need to read Falling. So that is on here as Kindle Unlimited book as well. And so let's take a look if there's any more, new ones. If we clicked on the wrong one, let's go back to the library. And so I think those are the newest ones that I've added. Yep, those are all of them. So that is very exciting. So I wanted to share a few new books that I got from Kindle Unlimited. I'm excited to see a few one from Ellen Marie Wiseman. The Book of Doors sounds great. So yeah, so let me know what you are excited to be reading in January, or if you have purchased any new books or gotten any from the library. Share at least one book that you currently have on your stack to read that's new. All right, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye.